Hollande has made gay marriage one of the planks of his presidential platform, yet the issue is turning into a potential political minefield for both government and opposition members. A draft law is expected to go before the Cabinet on Wednesday to amend the Civil Code to allow same-sex marriages to occur. As a result, fury has erupted on both sides. On the right, arguments against are being made by the Conservative right and the Catholic Church, who are saying such a move would destroy the traditional notions of family and marriage. The bill is also expected to give gay couples equal rights to adopting children, prompting debate on the left as to how far the French state should encourage or assist people to adopt or have children via other means. But polls have started to waver when it comes to supporting the move, with support for gay marriage dropping from 63% in 2011 to just 58% this year. The same with support for gay couples wanting to adopt. It dropped from 56% last year to 50% this year. Now, joining me here in the studio is Tom Craig, a member of ACT UP, a gay lobby here in Paris. Also, Franck Magan, a vice president of the Christian Democratic Party. From Amsterdam, Laurent Chambon, a political analyst who's been monitoring gay rights in Europe. And from Boulogne-sur-Mer, northern France, Dr. Jean-Pierre Diquez, a member of the Catholic Doctors Association here in this country. So first of all, I want to actually talk to you, Tom, because we've seen very vocal opposition coming from rural areas. What is the gay lobby trying to do to counter such opposition?
First of all, it's kind of a mythology to call gay lobby. We're not a gay lobby. Lobbyists are paid people going to Brussels and to Paris, into the halls of power, and we don't do that. Me, I'm a volunteer at ACT UP. I'm not a paid person at all. We're mostly volunteers, so that idea of gay lobby should be erased from your mind right away, please.
Oh, so, okay, so let me rephrase the question. What is the gay community or the gay organisations doing?
Well, unfortunately, they're very silent.
Why is that?
That's a very good question. Where are you guys? We need you. You're letting the place to the right, the extreme right, express these fantasist notions about why they're against gay marriage. We have to combat this. People have to get involved politically in their local associations. We need you guys. We need the young generation to do this. And you can't let the place for the extreme right to influence like they're doing the media right now.
Franck?
I just want to interrupt. It's not an extreme right fight. It's just a fight. Can we say that we are never going to say that the gay lobby or the gay community are extreme left? So, I mean, come on, we've got to...
We're left, and we'll say it.
First, you are not. You know, you've got gay community in every kind of political parties, you know, first. And second, it's not an extreme right debate. It's a debate which is extremely important, emotional, where it is involving a lot of different issues. That's the reason we call that debate extreme, but not from the extreme right side.
I just want to ask you, Tom, though, I mean, it is interesting. There is this clear division between urban communities and rural communities. Is that a reflection of terms of demographics? Why is it occurring?
Homophobia. It's more easy to be gay here in Paris than it is in the Provence. That's clear. You can talk about the problem of statistics for the contaminations of AIDS in rural or urban, and there's a disparity between the people who can be tested for AIDS in the province is much more difficult than in Paris. It's not to say that Paris is a gay paradise; it's far from that. But there is a big problem, and all these problems from the problem of AIDS and the problem of equality all come together. This is how ACT UP is formed.
Franck, in recent days, we've heard one prominent mayor here in Paris of the 8e arrondissement of the 8th district warning that recognising gay marriage would lead to legalising polygamy, pedophilia and incest. They're fairly extreme views, aren't they? I mean, you can understand why people are seeing this as being a very extremist debate.
That, as I said, an extreme debate. I would not support this view of, word which has been said by this guy. What I have stressed, and I'm stressing again, that a gay family with gay adoption is obviously a family of three, components, and that's where people tend to move into. Can we see in the next, generation, a family of 4 or 5 people, because when you have introduced a number 3, there could also, be some advocate about, because we love this, my second partner, the second partner should have the right to my first partner, because the first partner is not the father, or the first partner is not the mother, the biological mother. So if you introduce another one, you could say that because I love this other one has a right on the children. And that's where people are, afraid of. Now, the word we are using in debate have to be extremely careful because, as I said, it's a very important issue for the population.
Laurent Chambon, how much of the drop in support for this this law do you think is a sort of a reflection of the drop, by and large, of President Hollande's popularity?
Well, the thing we have to understand in this type of debate is there's been this debate in Northern Europe, and as you see now, we have gay rights against Catholic Church, but that I know is never that they ask people of the LGBT community to comment whenever there's something happening around the Catholic community. So I find it quite fascinating that we bring always the religious to comment on this issue. But what's interesting in this debate is every time it's been kind of a therapy. It was therapy here for Christians to accept that people want equality and that their marriage will not be damaged by other people's marriage. I think that's what's happening now. You can hear the arguments that sometimes a bit weird. Everyone knows, even Catholic people don't feel very comfortable with some arguments that sometimes are stretched to craziness. And I think this debate will be useful in the way that it's a therapy for a lot of Christian people to get over all this macho, sexist, racist propaganda of the church that win, because it needs to evaluate. So I think this debate, to some point, will be useful to François Hollande, because many people in the right wing will feel really embarrassed by this crazy debate we've had so far, especially from the Catholic Church. But yeah, on the short term, it's obvious that some people doubt because we hear all types of arguments. And yeah, you always have people who are against other people. When you ask about death penalty or even race equality or even sexism, if you dig a little bit, many people are actually sexist, racist, and for death penalty. So it's just one debate. I hope that people will mature a bit through this debate, like it's been happening in a opinion in Northern Europe. And then in 2 or 4 years, we'll laugh at it, thinking, what were we busy with, actually? It's so obvious that it's about equality.
Frank here wants to make a point.
I just want to make a comment. That's not acceptable to speak about, this way of craziness, extremism. I mean, first, I don't use that word. So I think, that's even not logical to have a debate and using the word that all the Catholics are extremists and anti-Greece. That's so easy. I think I call that fascism. He is a fascist. You know why? You are a fascist. I'm sorry to say that, because all Catholic for you are integrist and extreme right, and you are comparing death penalty about gay marriage. How could you do that for the population who is watching us to compare death penalty with gay marriage? I think that's an insult for the gay community you are doing. I'm sorry to say that. That's not acceptable.
Can I just say at this point, though, I mean, decades, in my lifetime, when I was a child even, interracial marriage was seen as being taboo.
It was illegal. In
the way that gay marriage is seen by some people these days. Do you think, Frank, you could be on the wrong side of history on this one?
I'm also very humble and always, thinking I'm wrong, but I'm trying to defend what I believe in. And I believe in the right of the child. I would have certainly been on the opposite side, when the debate was about slavery, was about, different colors or whatsoever. Now we are living in a world, I think, where everybody could have a debate. You've got court, you've got a parliament, and you've got a government which is not a dictator. So in that field, I'm very comfortable to, pose my arguments, to debate with people and not to be treated as a fascist or to be treated as an extreme right. That's not acceptable.
Dr. Jean-Pierre Dickers, France prides itself very much for being a secular country, but your version of marriage is very much dominated by Christian values and also Jewish and Muslim values, in other words, religious values, doesn't it?
Yes, first of all, it's completely stupid that to think that this fight or this struggle concerns only Catholic, and it concerns also Muslims, and there are the big the highest authority amongst the Jews in France, it's called Bernheim, said that it was also that this kind of moral was concerning also Jews. And it's completely stupid to throw to the face of Catholics that they are fascists, that in fact it is those people who say those Catholics are bad people, which are using very bad words towards Catholic. And that's what I think. And concerning AIDS, there is also something. It's in France, those people who act up are very radical people, extreme left people, and they are against all kind of religion. And they just forget that amongst gay people, it's a place. There is more people who have got AIDS. About 25% of the gay population have got AIDS. And if they adopt, it will give, of course, orphans. In France now, the number of people who have got AIDS is increasing for half through the gay people and homosexual people. And in fact, homosexual half and half. You understand what I mean? But the population is very important, and gays are very few compared to the world population.
Tom,
so that's also a problem. And in fact, ACT UP should be inspired to shut up about that.
Dr. Decaires, at that point, I want to bring in Tom. And what would you say to that?
Are you saying that ACT UP should shut up about AIDS? Listen, first of all, you're assuming that the 25% of the gay population is HIV positive. It's wrong. It's 1 in 5, which is 20%. Yes, that's true. 1 in 20 of them who are positive don't know they're positive because they're afraid to be tested. And these are the people who are spreading the disease because they're not under treatment, okay? Now, why is the gay population so touched by this disease? Now, let's get into the real debate here. The gay people have a very bad reputation to the outside straight world, which is really no fault of us. We have no right to be married, so why should we establish relationships together if we can't have children and do things like heterosexuals do? So a lot of people have grown up thinking, well, this is what we have to be, this is what we are, so this is what we want to be forever. We're advocating change in society and a choice for people, a choice to be married, a choice to want to have children, a choice to have a family if they want to. It's not going to be done by millions of people, but some people who need to have it, they want it. Today, we don't have that choice.
Yes, but
can I have the choice?
1 second, Mr. Chambon. I will. Sorry,
Dr. Decaires.
Yes, I want to speak just a problem of that. If you have the choice, have I the choice to get married with my son or with my mother or with my dog or with my
We're not asking for that. We're not asking you to get married to your son, sir.
Dr. Decaires, Frank here wants to just...
Yes, that's what I just want to say. You think always to have the right, but do you think to have the right for the children to get parents? That's where I don't understand where is your... where are your arguments? Because I understand your rights, your desire to get married, but why you deny the fact that the children have the right, especially when they've been, out of their biological parents for whatever, things in life, to not having the right to have, alterity. I mean, somebody different. Because I understand that gay parents could be good parents, but that's not the issue.
And they are.
And they are. Probably they are. I'm not going to deny it. I'm just telling you, why are we denying the fact to give to a child the possibility of having different love? A love for a man and a love for a woman. Because you're talking about love. You want a marriage to have your love recognized.
Where is the love in the debate today? Where is the love in the debate today? When I hear the things said by the Archevêque of Paris this past weekend, where's the love in what he said?
Let me just, at this point, let me just bring in Laurent Chambon from Amsterdam. You've been hearing this exchange, Laurent. What's your reaction?
I'm really fascinated by the arguments, I have to say. Maybe it's because I lived too long in the north of Europe where we passed this point long ago, that actually even the extreme right defends gay people. Actually, it's a way to be Islamophobic, but that's another issue. I cannot understand the type of debate. Something that struck me, for example, is that if you have children who have gay parents, they will be badly treated at school. Well, you know, there's racism. So if you take this argument, maybe you should forbid black people to have children because their children will suffer racism. That's really incredible. It's blaming the victim. All I've been hearing so far is blaming the victim. And I'm sorry, but I'm not impressed by your arguments. Every time you bring the child, but all I hear is that you bring intolerance. If you're really concerned about the child, you should work on homophobia. You should not work on forbidding gay people to marry and to have children. This is where the problem is. So I'm sorry, but your debate so far, I'm not fascinated by your argument. I'm not impressed. You have to come with something better. Because here in Northern Europe, we're not fascinated by what you're saying.
I don't need to fascinate you or to impress you. I just need to have a debate. And I think you're right. The children issue in the gay marriage and adoption is a central part of the debate. Yes.
For you.
Not for me. For the vast majority of the population who are listening to this television.
For you. It is for you. Okay.
You just think you are the center of the world.
If you have problems
you should think you are just part of the population.
As you can see there, it's an incredibly divisive issue, and I'm afraid we have run out of time, and I suspect this conversation will continue outside in the corridor.
In the street.
And in the street.
On Wednesday night in front of the Assembly National Building. Thank you for coming.
Okay, thanks for that, Tom. And I want to thank my guests for being with me here tonight. Tom Craig, Frank Magan, from Amsterdam, Laurent Chabon, and Dr. Jean-Pierre Diquez, who has been speaking to us by telephone from Boulogne-sur-Mer. And that's it for this edition of the France 24 debate. Do stay with us, because coming up is a wrap of the day's business news with Marcus Carlson.